Wanted to come in, do a charting video. This is for NASDAQ. Take off these EMAs. Um, so we're going to start on the weekly. See here the weekly top left. And we mark the previous high. Got a very nice bounce just because of the news of the war ending. Not the war ending, but the ceasefire. Sorry. Um, we have that range there. Very big range. That is just under 2,000 points. Go to the daily chart. And I am going to see where there is support. You can see this big support here. We're going to mark that because that is important. Key level support. Mark the bottom of that candle. Mark that candle. So that's the support area. And then we have a supply zone that was created because we got the heavy move down. So we're going to keep this up here, supply zone. And then we will move to the 4-hour. And we're going to get rid of this because that we already moved off of it. You can see we created here, we moved off of that. I'm going to anchor a VWAP to this because this is the massive move that we had. I want to keep it on the chart because it's important. This is when the ceasefire happened. We got the gap up. And then we have here support NASDAQ. You can see the support. That's what held the whole time until we got the move up. So we will keep this here. This is key level that we want to have on there. Just because we had strong support there. So how long we held there. All throughout the 8th. And then the 9th it held there. So that's important. Then we were going to go here. We're going to delete some of these older information. Delete that. Delete this. Delete those two. And then I wanted to keep, like I said, I wanted to keep this on here. I'll have to come back down here and delete this. Yeah. So obviously this is the higher support area. Futures opened up down here mainly because the US couldn't get to a deal. So that's the reason why it gapped down so massively. But I'm almost certain this will get bought up and will probably bounce around this price, 25, this area, and then we'll probably get consolidation and then a move down back to this area. I don't think we break this tomorrow, but multiple tests of this area will get a breakdown. Because this big candle move was mainly because they thought that the ceasefire was solid. I'm going to pull up the moving averages. They see this 30 EMA, this green. This is the 5-day moving average, so this represents 5 days of data, moving average on an EMA. So you can see that we were above it. We got that move up. They used that area as like a catapult. Once we got there and just moved up above it. Usually that's how the algos trade. They'll come into these areas of interest or these moving averages and bounce off of it. When I go to the 30-minute chart and I go to the 30-minute, you can see literally look how many times we tested it. 1, 2, and it was gone. And then they tried to test it here and it was gone. So the algos were buying off of this 5-day moving average, but we'll see what happens tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. But that's NASDAQ charting, drawing up supply and demand zones. I've already done the SPY supply and demand zones. I recorded a previous video, but it didn't sound very good. So I just wanted to do the NASDAQ one, but I didn't want to redo the chart. Again, this is the 5-day moving average, and you can see literally we're just hovering above it. NASDAQ, you got tests, but we're just hovering above it on SPY. And if we go to the 5-minute chart, you can see on the 5-minute chart, this is the 5-day moving average. The 5-minute chart shows a little bit more detail. You can see literally it was just a support. 5-day moving average was strong, and that's what they were defending. So if you were able to find this support area, right, find this support area, and then they moved up and they bought this 830, came down and tested it, and they bought it. So it's always important to, if you have the futures chart, if you're trading SPY or QQQ, always take a look at the futures, because these overnight moves, if you can't see these zones, it's very hard to trade them. Because look at this. This is from previous day before. Look at that. Literally. Look at that. Support. So you could just say this is here. I want to trade off of this, just like they did at 4 a.m. They came down close to it. You can put your buy here, then your stop just below it. Right? So, but yeah, I just wanted to show that.